As I'm recording this video, we are currently sitting on February 2nd, and that only means one thing. Starting in February, as part of our compliance programme for the UK Online Safety Act, and to ensure we're continuing to provide safe and age-appropriate experiences for our players, all Minecraft players in the UK with adult accounts will be required to verify their age is at least 18 years old. Accounts that do not complete the age verification process will have limited access to social features. Whether a player verifies their age will not affect any previous purchases, entitlements, gameplay history, achievements, or the ability to play and purchase games. Players with adult accounts in the UK who want uninterrupted use of social features are encouraged to verify their age right now. So this is a message that went out probably in the middle towards the end of January, and there was no explanation as to what type of social features you would lose access to if you weren't to verify your age. It was just kind of, we're introducing age verification, you need to verify your age right now, yet they didn't really make it clear as to what type of features you lose access to. But now, because we're in February and we're getting closer to that age verification phase, it has now been made clear as to what features you'll lose access to, so I'm going to talk about it all in this video. The biggest question, of course, is when they said about these quote-unquote social features, what exactly were they referring to? Well, I've got it right here. On social features that will be limited beginning February 2026, unverified accounts in Minecraft can still play with others online. Text chat for age unverified players, however, will be limited to those on a player's Xbox friends list on Bedrock. For unverified players on Java, text chat from other players will be unviewable and you'll be unable to send text messages until your account has been age verified, as Java does not feature a built-in friends list. So to be honest with you, if you don't really use text chat or any type of chat in Minecraft, this change will not affect you in any way, because like you said, you can still play online servers and online worlds with your friends, providing you've got them as, a friend on your friends list, of course. The only thing you can't do is just message them. So if you don't use those features, it's not really that much of an issue. Now, I'll be honest, I'm quite happy about the fact that this does not affect the general overall experience of the game itself. It only affects text chat, so for those who like to spam or put some random messages in servers, I guess it will stop those from doing so. Obviously, the entire reason they're doing this is to keep children safe online. I see why they're doing it from that aspect. But this does not count. Say, for example, if you've had an account for 18 years, they cannot see that you're 18 years old. That does not count. So even if you've had an account for that long, you still have to verify your identification. As far as I'm aware, this is currently only a situation happening in the UK right now, especially because the UK government are doing a lot for online safety acts and stuff like that. The only good news about this is that if you were to verify your age, then Minecraft or Mojang would not be able to see that copy of the photo you provided to them using your identification. They will not be able to see any of that, but the bad news is that they are in fact using a third-party vendor to do this called Yoti, which obviously is an industry standard encryption for protection and deletes all the data after the checks are complete. However, it begs the question, is that an entirely honest statement right there? Because we've seen this before. Let's just say for Discord, for example, when they had that security incident, Discord recently discovered an incident where an unauthorized party compromised one of our third-party vendors. This was not a breach of Discord, but rather a breach of a third-party service provider, 5CA, that we use to support our customer service efforts. Of the accounts impacted globally, we have identified approximately 70,000 users that may have had government ID photos exposed, which our vendor used to review age-related appeals. So although it wasn't a direct breach of the Discord service itself, they still managed to breach in to the third-party service they were using in order to verify people's age. What if the same happens with Minecraft? Although it's saying, oh yeah, all the data gets deleted once the age verification process has happened, how do we know that's true? There is no proof behind that, and there is no guarantee that your ID are actually safe, regardless of who it's with. In fact, the Electronic Frontier Foundation, which if you don't know, they're a leading non-profit organisation which basically fights for digital rights worldwide, they did an article about this called So You've Hit an Age Gate, What Now? EFF is against age gating and age verification mandates, and we hope we'll win in getting existing ones overturned and new ones prevented. But mandates are already in effect, and every day many people are asked to verify their their age across the web, despite prominent cases of sensitive data getting leaked in the process. Now, the Electronic Frontier Foundation, if you guys don't know, are actually a very strong and reliable source for helping you keep your data safe online. They've even got lawyers and attorneys working for them to help in cases like this, but also they know exactly what they're talking about, and they specifically have said that they are against these age verification phases. Here's another direct quote from their own article that says, unfortunately, it should be clear by now that none of the age verification options are perfect in terms of protecting information, providing access to everyone, and safely handling sensitive data. That's just one of the reasons that EFF is against age gating mandates and is working to stop and overturn them across the United States and around the world. So you might be listening to this and thinking, okay, well, obviously we're screwed, right? What do we do? And my advice to you is to not upload any of your ID whatsoever to them, because again, like I said, how do you know that your identification is going to be fully safe? All it takes is one breach, one data mine or anything for them to get your identification and see all of your information. If you do use text chat features in Minecraft, whether it'll be on a server or online worlds, then you've kind of got to compromise with yourself whether or not it's worth risking sending your data to this third-party service, or whether or not you'll just never use chat features again. Personally, I don't think it's worth it. I don't think you should start using chat features again, but that is for you to decide if you do use those features. Obviously, for people who don't use them, great news, like it's not really going to affect you. I find it funny as well that it doesn't really affect purchases. Like, we've heard stories, right, of kids purchasing things with their mum's credit cards or whatever it may be. Like, what, they're not exactly stopping any purchases or anything like that, which I find quite hilarious. But at the same time, it's kind of not related to the Online Safety Act at all, so I guess that's a different debate entirely. But as for myself, I can definitely confirm that I will not be submitting any of my identification to Minecraft or the third-party vendor or whatever it may be, because it doesn't really affect me. Bearing in mind as well that even before February happened, way in, like the middle of January, for example, people have been getting emails from quote-unquote Xbox to tell them to verify their age. So although some of them might be legitimate, if you do want to verify your age, again, I wouldn't recommend it, but if you do, then I would recommend doing it from the actual Microsoft website themselves, a legitimate source that you know. Don't do it from an email. There are lots of fake emails going around posing to be Xbox, asking you to verify your age. So that's even worse if you fall for that, because then you could be sending your data to a hacker, a scammer, whoever it may be. Again, I completely understand why they're doing it, keeping children safe online. It's probably actually stopped children from randomly accessing the chat and talking to random people, which is great in that aspect, restricts them entirely. But personally, I don't want to verify my sensitive identification, which by the way is personal information, it's personal to me, and if I was to verify that, anyone could get access to it. Even though they claim it's safe, you can never really believe that statement. I think I'll just stick to playing my favourite childhood game without sending across any of my personal information. I think I'd prefer to keep that private and just, keep enjoying the game that I've always enjoyed since the game's been out. Anyway, I'm going to end this video now. There's currently a council sweeper coming through my cul-de-sac, so you might be able to hear it in the background. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please give it a like, click subscribe, and share it with your friends. Let me know what you think to all of this in the comments section down below. Will you be verifying your age or not? What do you think to this entire process? Let me know down below. If you want to see another video, click this one on screen right now or this playlist, leave a comment on that and I'll be replying to every single one of you.